What's up? It's Bushy. I got a UMX Turbo Timber for Christmas. Between my stepmom and my wife and my sister and stepbrother, and they all went in and got this for me. So I'm gonna start getting it set up. I'm gonna run it like I do all my everything on my Radiomaster, and I'll kind of run through my setup on this. I don't know if it's going to be helpful for any of you guys or if anybody even cares, but that's what's going down tonight. So like I said, we're going to be running the Radiomaster TX16S. I am going to mostly copy my profile that I've got for the regular Turbo Timber, and I'll run through the manual and maybe make some tweaks here and there for some whatever maybe some of their recommendations are. I'm definitely going to be changing the throws on these on all of the control surfaces. I'm going to max them out, and then I will my idea is on the switch that I use for my rates, my middle rates, I think I will put I'll try to make those rates be the out of the box, you know, how this thing would have flown out of the box. And then when I want all of it, it's gonna have all of it. I'm probably gonna fly horribly, but I want to try it out. So just for starters, I got these batteries from Amazon. They are half the price of the Spektrum batteries, with a claimed rating of 80C. Whether they actually put out 80C or not, probably not, but goodness, try that. So they have a claimed rating of 80C. You know, they probably don't actually put out 80C, but the Spektrum batteries are a 30C battery, and I know from experience that that's probably pretty accurate. So you definitely get a bump in flight performance when you step away from the manufacturer's batteries. Plus then I get to run my XT30s. So the first thing that I'm going to need to do to this plane is to swap the battery lead over to XT30. So I'll get started on that, and then once it's bound, and I'll bind it, and then once it's bound, I'll kind of measure everything out, see what the factory throws are like, and then change it all up. And like I said, I'm going to try to put the factory throws on my middle rates, and maybe it will work like I think it is. All right, the first thing we need to do is get this thing swapped over to an XT30. So work on that. I'm normally able to just jam this in there and kind of defeat these pins. I want to keep these cables as long as I possibly can, so I don't want to cut the wires off. But that's the nature of things. As soon as you want to film it and show somebody else how to do it, it's gonna argue with you and make you take a different approach. Okay. For you guys, maybe it's not worth it to go through all this this hassle. You just use a battery with a JST. I run XT everything, so for me, it's worth it. The JST plugs just fine, way better than the pH connectors that they were using on the older UMXs. But it doesn't, I just would rather run XT30. I've got lots of other stuff that runs that plug, so get one of these pulled out and XT everything. Okay. So when you get any plug, I mean, doesn't matter if it's a Spektrum plug or XT, it seems like any single one of them is going to come with these pins facing away from each other, which is fine, but it's easier to get things lined up the way that you like if the shelf that you've got is at the bottom. So what I'll do is just grab them and turn them to where they are going to, yeah, let's do that the other way. Now, when I go to solder this in, I'll be able to just set it here and bring my my leads down to it and set them right on top. I won't have any twists or in my wire or anything like that will bug me later on. So that's a tip for anybody that's wanting to switch their connectors or replacing a damaged connector on your battery leads or the your model. So hope that helps. Okay. My iron is gonna be set up pretty hot. Gonna run pretty fast on this, so I like a nice hot iron. I'm gonna go get this sponge wet and be right back. Okay. Heat the iron up, clean it off. Quick. All right. A little bit of flux, help things flow a little bit. All right, here we go. One down. Okay, that's both of them. Maybe I can make some type of a heat shield out of some tape. I don't know if that's gonna work or not, but it's gonna do more than nothing. Oh yeah, baby. Ah, just fine. Okie dokie. So now we got an XT30. Okay, there it goes into bind mode. So we're done with that, and put all this away and get it bound up. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy my Turbo Timber profile, duplicate that, and I'll come over here and
throttle warning, switch warning, throttle disabled,
modify it a little bit. Model name. In the multi-protocol. Okay. In my internal RF here, we've got it on multi. On the protocol is DSM. Channel 1 through 7. We'll get ready to bind. And plug the plane in. Brand new plane, so I'm gonna plug it in, and then within the first 5 seconds or so, now you can see back there it's starting to flash real rapidly. That's true. The model's trying to bind now, so hit bind on this, and yeah, missed a couple of flashes, but there it goes. It is bound up. Just that simple. Holy moly. Brand new plane. What I'm going to do is spend some time measuring the throws on this from factory. Well, factory being that yeah, I mean, I'm just at 100% throws on anything, on my inputs and my mixes. Outputs, yeah. So I don't have anything special going on in here yet, except for my
throttle active.
My throttle cut, my noises and stuff. So that's why I copied my old model. But as far as my mixes and my inputs go, it looks like I've been flying with 25% expo on my on the regular Turbo Timber, and that's it. The flaps, I've got a special mode there because the flaps was kind of gnarly on the old one.
Flaps down.
If you put the flaps all the way down, it was almost unflyable for me. So I limited that to 80, and then my half flaps is is going to be a 40.
Flap up.
But that's
Flaps
my
down.
flap switch. This here is my save my ass mode. When I lose orientation, I flip that up and I'm on safe. And then these two would be 100% throws. The way that I'm going to set this one up is that's going to be stock. Then this is going to be super rowdy. I'm going to max out all of the mechanical trims, mechanical connections to the control horns, and then I'm gonna let it eat. I'm gonna let it have all of the throw with the switch towards me. Middle rates will be exactly what we've got here, or as close as I can get to it. I'm gonna spend some time and measure stuff out and see what that looks like. So we are at 11.6. And just checking. You see, I still have room for my servo to go. They're not hitting the ends, so I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm not gonna be able to see those servos really well, but well, I will. You won't.
Throttle active. Throttle disabled.
Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna measure this out, jot some stuff down, and see how much deflection I've got stock, and then elevator, my rudder, and my ailerons. See how much deflection I get, and then I'm gonna max out my horns, and then through my radio, through the programming on the radio, I will dumb everything down, find the right percentages to make it to where the throws are equal to this at with on my mid rates. But whatever. Okay, 11 and a half. That's what I was starting at, and we are at 13.6. 11 and a half. 13.6. 11 and a half. 13.6. It's really 13.5 and a half. So we're gonna go 2.05 millimeter on the elevator. Okay. On the elevator. Oh, okay. I'm at 4.4 to 5.4. 4.4, 5.4, 4.4, 5.4. So elevator is 1 mil. And so the rudder we got 1.4. Okay, 1.4. Double check everything. Middle of 15. 1.4 mil, 1.4 mil. Okay. Yeah. Here we're starting at 4.4 and 5.4, 4.4, 5.4. Elevator, 1 mil, same as what I got last time. And here we are starting at 11.8. To 13.8. 2 mil, and I wrote 205. Okay, so we got some good measurements. That's what my stock deflection is. I am going to change all of these mechanically to their max throw, and then it should be pretty gnarly when it's flying around. And if I hate it, it's on a switch. I don't care. So grab some tools and get moving those around. Okay. So we're gonna be careful while we're unscrewing this. I'm gonna move it down. It's quite a bit different angle. I might need to take this in a turn or two, so that my ailerons are still in trim. Okay, tighten that up one turn. Let's see how that looks. That looks better. Oh. Okay, yeah, if you want to go to your max throws on your ailerons, you're gonna need to move that push rod adjuster in one turn. Line dried up, so we'll see if that trend continues. Probably not so much on these other ones. They'll be pretty, I don't think I'll have to mess with it too much. I am going to move this rudder. It's a little out of trim from the factory, so I'll change that. But being that the angle of this push rod is so high on these ailerons, that's what's going to cause you to have to make it a mechanical adjustment. And you know, these newer push rods they're nice, but they're not as easy to adjust the trim on as the old UMXs were. So trade-off. But I'm going to repeat that on this one over here, and then I'll move to the back. It looks great. Really nice. One turn, just one turn. You could do half turns if you want, if you need to, but you're gonna have to pop that ball out of the socket. So we'll stick with even numbers where we can, and that's just fantastic. So now we're gonna have a shit ton more throw on the ailerons. It's nice of them. They put this freaking that's great. So let's see what we can do about this rudder, and then we'll do the elevator. Wow, that's wetter. That's a lot closer to center than it was from the factory, so I'm not going to mess with the mechanical trim at all on the rudder. That is better. And they were very rude to us here, and they put the push rod on the near side of, can I get to it? I might have to bend it a little bit. See how flexible that horn feels, and I might be able to just get my tool in there. Okay, got it. That's rude. I will be putting that on the other side. Okay. I'm gonna have to pick one direction to go. Looks like, if anything, I might extend that just a little bit so that I can end up on the other side of the control horn. Let's just give that a half of a turn. There. Now, let's set this up on the outside where I can get to it easily. Don't. Gotcha. Thread that in till it stops. And yeah, I'll fly that. Okay. So now all of my throws are going to be maxed out. Let's see what that accomplished for us. Probably going to be a little much for this plane, more than necessary for sure, but that's what's fun about this stuff, messing with it.
4.3 volts.
Got it. Huge throws on the ailerons. Looks like we got more rudder and elevator. So let's take some measurements, see how far, see what kind of progress we made. Let's do that. This goes here. That goes there. This sucker, middle of 15. And we got, let me move that back. Now we're 16.5. A whole 1/10 of a millimeter. Okay. Big gains. Let me put that rudder in trim here. Just a couple clicks. Okay. Starting in the middle of 15. Oh my goodness. There we are. Yeah, we got some throw. Make sure the hinge isn't hitting nothing. So control horn's not touching nothing. Should be good to go. So I will find out what is gonna put that. What did we need? 1.4 is what we want for my middle rates. 1.4. That's where I want it to be. That's the stock. And we gained a whole 0.3 of a millimeter. So yeah, that's significant. Actually. 15. Oh wow. Yeah, baby. We are gonna be moving. Let's find out. So let's set that up. Model. We'll come over to the inputs for the rudder and insert after rudder. The weight on that's gonna be, let's see. Okay, let me delete that. Let's try that on my mixes. Okay, on my mixes, my rudder mix, we're gonna go insert after. No, I do want it on my input. Insert after. Oh crap, why did I do that? Okay, back over to the inputs. On the rudder, we're going to say insert after. The source is going to be the rudder. We're going to put it on this switch C in the center. So when switch C is in the center, we'll still have that same 25% expo that I kind of used to. But the weight will be. Return. No, nothing's happening there. Okay. Let's see. Oh, what I'll do here is go to my regular rudder and edit that so that it is this switch C in the middle. Let's say the opposite of that. So the opposite of switch C in the middle. So when the switch C is not in the middle, I've got full beans. And then when switch C is in the middle, oh, I messed it by one. Okay. Edit. Switch C in the middle. So when switch C is not in the middle, great. Now I should have, now I can go over here and edit that. Edit that value. And it should be, it should respond. No. Okay, so 1.4 is right there. So 47% throw. No, let's climb in a little bit. There we are, 56%. So 50%, 56% is what it looks like. Is yep, that's hitting my stock. That's hitting the stock throws. So, to recap, we've got this 100% throw here, and that's with the servo, the control surface just maxed out. It's going to give me 100% of everything, gnarly rudder, and that's when my C is not in the middle. And then when my switch is in the middle, it moves down. The darker is the darker is true. So right now, that top line's true. When I switch it to the middle, that'll be my middle rates. And then the bottom line is true. And it gives me that much less rudder. So just whatever. It's quite a bit, actually. I'll show you from this angle here that this is a factory throws, and that's what I gained. Quite a bit for this little plane. I'm going to repeat that for the other surfaces. I don't think you probably care to watch that, but I'm going to repeat that for the other surfaces. Come back and get back with you when I'm done with it. So we've got a little bit more work to do, and then I'll kind of run through everything. Recap. Okay, just about finished with the setup here. just cruising through the manual and looking at some of their recommendations, and stumbled upon the elevator flap mix, if you will. This is something I never did. I kind of always talked about doing on the old one, and whenever I'd hit the flaps, man, that thing would just start climbing, especially if you hit full flaps. So what they're suggesting here is that the elevator with the flaps up, with the flaps at 100, the elevator is got zero offset or input. Then at half flaps, we're gonna push that elevator. I'm gonna put the elevator down 17%, which is gonna help. It's gonna be a good starting place, I would guess. It might even be perfect. I mean, why would they put it in their book? But 17% forward pitch when flaps are at half, and when the flaps are at full, we're gonna put a 30% in. So that's just gonna be in my mixes, elevator mix. This is my flap switch. It's D.
Flaps half.
So I've gone into the first line and edit that, and I've made that true when switch D is forward. We've got zero offset. It looks like we've got just a hair of, I don't know, I'm not gonna worry about that. No offset with flaps up. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Then on the page next, I made another page, and that is got a 17% offset when flaps are half.
Flaps half.
So my half flaps is gonna push that elevator down a little bit and keep that plane hopefully flying level instead of ballooning on me. So there. Now what I'll do is insert another line after that of an offset of 30 when switch D when my flaps are down. So that's simple. Just hit the switch. It highlights what you want. So switch D is when that's towards me, which is what I have programmed to my flaps. When that's towards me, my elevator is down, pushing my nose down.
Flaps half.
Half flaps. The elevator moved up a little bit, and
Flaps up.
flaps up. We've got no offset. So once again, starting with zero flaps, we've got half flaps.
Flaps half.
Moving that elevator down, and then full flaps, moving it down even further. So maybe I'll have a chance at being able to fly this thing with flaps now without it just climbing, skyrocketing on me. So yeah, that's pretty well gonna be my setup. I'm gonna tell my radio to give me an audible that my rates are changing, high rates and middle rates. That's pretty simple to do too. Just come over here to my logical switches. These are just my timers, and my logical switches and special functions. So we'll create a new special function. Let's just do it. Here, saying when switch C is in the middle, it's going to play a track. The track is gonna be middle rates. Probably would have done faster by scrolling from the bottom. I've got the man, it's been a while since I did, so I think I've got the amber sound pack on here. So try talking and running this at the same time. Middle rate.
Middle rates.
So that's fine. Plays that one time. And we'll create another one based off of that switch there. And that's gonna also play a track. What am I doing? Play a track. And then that's gonna be high rates. High rate.
Middle rates. High rates.
That'll just about do it for me. Ready to
Throttle active.
rip. Sweet. Oh man. I work until after the sun goes down. It's the middle of winter, so the sun goes down here, you know, around 5 o'clock. I'm not gonna be getting.
5 minutes. Stop.
Timer
reset.
It's still got a 5 minute 30-second timer. That's what I used to fly the other one on. I'm just gonna leave that alone. If I need to drop it or raise it, then I will. With these 3S packs on the beautiful new Turbo Timber Evolution. I need to still throw just a little bit of Velcro on my packs so that I can yep, so they can stay in place wherever I decide to put them. So a little bit of Velcro on this edge here is going to set those off. I'll get them numbered and Velcroed, but that is my setup for the new UMX Turbo Timber Evolution, set up on the Radiomaster TX16S multi-protocol module. I do have an ELRS module on the back of this that I use for my quads, and I will be using for some of my scratch build planes now that they make cool receivers. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, super thanks. Look at that son of a bitch. Wow, that is some serious throw. I mean, that's a lot. That is a lot for this little plane. So much more than the version 2, the regular Turbo Timber, the UMX Turbo Timber. That is massive throws. This thing is going to, I might need to throw some more expo in it. We'll see. I'm just gonna fly it with 25%, but that's exciting to me. Big old freaking rudder throw. But once again, we'll show you what my stock rudder looks like. This. That's just 100% throws from the factory. That would have been on the middle spot of the control horn. So this is kind of what we get from the factory. And then on my high rates, we've got just an extra 10% at least. Some of them more. Those ailerons are not messing around. Dope. Thanks for watching. Like it if you liked it. Like it if you didn't like it. Tell me what I could do better. I'm sure this video is plenty long and boring, but maybe it's interesting to some of you. I thought I'd film it and bring you along with me. So if you're interested in any of the other projects that I've got going on, the wife, here's what she got for Christmas. That's still yet to be run. So we got her all set up. Spoiled her a little bit. Gotta. That is a little 18-inch 3S boat. They're supposed to be wicked fast. The yak is doing good. I'm probably gonna throw another weight in the back of it, and still kind of getting that thing tuned up and flying the way that I want to, but it's doing good. And then I just ordered, I just ordered from Eclipson over the holiday the plans for the Eclipson Model R. I'm going to be printing this sucker and building that from scratch with my 3D printer. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to build it heavy, and it's going to be fast. So they claim here that I can build it with just straight PLA, and I don't have to do lightweight PLA. If I want it to go real fast, I'll make it a little heavier, and it should rip like wicked fast. I don't know what motor's gonna go in it just yet. Probably one I've got kicking around to start with, and then we'll go from there. But that plane's gonna be sweet. Gotta print all these components out and build it all up. This thing's badass. Got retractable landing gear, and you know, it was only $30 for the model to download. Probably gonna cost me $100 to build it with cheap Metal Gear servos, a cheap receiver, run on some batteries that I've already got. I'm excited. Boom. Right on. Peace. Thanks again. See you around.